So this is the most common trigger in Azure function. It allows a function to execute in response of HTTP request. So the use cases for this trigger is building APIs, creating webhooks, developing integration. So the core principle, a function method is triggered as soon as HTTP request is received. Whenever the function receives any HTTP request, it responds accordingly. So this is the simplest version of HTTP triggers. So this is the what is the advantages. It's easy to use, and it also support the get, put, and delete HTTP methods. And it's also a microservices friendly, and integration, we can easily integrate this with other Azure services and third-party library, and it's also a scalable and cost-effective. So the disadvantages, it has the cold start latency, like there will be a delay on the first request. Whenever you hit the first request, there will be some delay, and this is the drawback of this HTTP request. And the other one is the stateless nature. This HTTP trigger has a stateless. Like for example, if you have stateful long running process that need the state to be saved. For this, this is not suitable HTTP trigger. So instead of HTTP trigger, we use the Azure durable functions. So we will discuss Azure durable function in the upcoming lessons. And it's a resource limited function, have limited on execution time and memory. Exceeded these often point to a design issue. So this is some drawbacks of HTTP triggers. And when you design HTTP trigger, there is some authorization level, like HTTP trigger allow for different level of security using authorization key. Like we have anonymous that need no access key, and we have function or function specific key is required, and the other one is the admin that need the master key. For example, if you go to Azure portal and open the app function app keys, you will see the master and the default key. So you will need this key to be to work with HTTP triggers. So few questions like when to use HTTP trigger. So this is very common question, like when you will use the HTTP trigger. Use HTTP trigger for lightweight stateless function that respond directly on the web request. For example, if you have a REST API, you can use the HTTP trigger. Webhook handle real-time notification integration, like driving a connection between the different services, and you can also use in case of prototyping. So this is some use cases. Now we'll go back to the actual code of the HTTP. So we will focus on one scenario, like as I share this in start, that we will use the car sharing microservices in this project. So this is the part of the HTTP trigger, a car sharing application with a car holding API that use the Azure function. So we will see this in action. Okay, so this is the one solution, and it has different triggers. So the first trigger is the HTTP trigger. So I created this Azure function based on HTTP trigger. So you can see here this trigger, this app has different type of functions, like create, read, and update. Then we have delete. So this is for CRUD operations, CRUD functions. So this is for Swagger OpenAI setting, and this is important, like the HTTP trigger. This is the Azure function based on HTTP trigger, and this is the Azure. I already discussed like HTTP trigger has three type of authorization, like admin, function, and anonymous. So this is the Azure function level, and it's about post, and this is the root of this application. Okay, so it receive the HTTP request, and it process the HTTP request based on all requirements. So currently there is no implementation, actual implementation, just we are logging some information. So this is the create. Similarly, we have read, update, and delete with same authorization level, and each have their type, delete, then read, and create. So to run this, we have some information, like we have configuration for this. This is the configuration, OpenAPI configuration file, and we have app setting.json file, and we have services dependency.json, and apart from that, there is no other, and similarly we can also have this, we can also configure the connected services to this configuration, this Azure function as well. But there is no currently there is no such thing. So just to show you how HTTP trigger works. So I will run this in front of you. So I select car holding as a startup project, so it will run. So you can see here it's now running, And you can see here we have create, delete, read operations, and this is the link of the Swagger. So this is the Swagger UI, and we have different post, get, put, and delete method. For example, if I want to test this read one, it's simply returning the information. So this is about how practically look like the HTTP trigger.